Trump's free trade speech reminds America that it's all about the economy, stupid. Trump's free trade speech reminds America that it's all about the economy, stupid. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel at the Black Political Buzz Network. On June 30th, 2016, in the state of New Hampshire, while on the 2016 campaign trail, presumptive 2016 GOP presidential nominee Donald J. Trump, he delivered a free trade speech or a speech on the subject matter of free trade while stumping in New Hampshire. This speech that he delivered on free trade and the economy and jobs was monumental. And let me explain why. Donald J. Trump, as we know, is a multi-billionaire, and his specialty or his expertise is in the area of business and especially trade. He knows a lot about trade, free trade, and trade deals. Because Donald Trump, he transacts a lot of business deals, with other countries. So he's very familiar, very, very well versed in free trade practices. All right? So let's go back to 1994 when former President Bill Clinton, Congress passed a law called NAFTA, which is an acronym for the North American Free Trade Agreement. So NAFTA is an acronym for North American Free Trade Agreement. This agreement was passed by Congress, signed into law by former President Bill Clinton in 1994. So in 1994, the first free trade agreement was drafted and signed into law. That free trade agreement expired in the year 2014. So in 2014, NAFTA expired. And then in the year 2015, Congress reauthorized the NAFTA free trade agreement, but they renamed it TPP. So TPP is an acronym for Trans-Pacific Partnership. I'll say it again. TPP is an acronym for Trans-Pacific Partnership. This agreement for free trade was passed by Congress in the year 2015 and signed into law by current President Barack Obama Jr. So we have the same free trade agreements, but under a different name. And both agreements have sucked billions, not millions, but both of these free trade agreements, NAFTA and TPP, have allowed billions of jobs to be sucked out of the American economy. And these free trade agreements, both NAFTA and the TPP, were used or have been instrumental in diminishing and destroying the American middle class. Prior to NAFTA, America had a very strong and healthy middle class community because the jobs that were sucked out of the American economy and sent to countries overseas, jobs that were sucked out of our economy and allowed to be transferred to other countries overseas, were jobs like manufacturing jobs, textile jobs, making cars, jobs that involve, building computers. These were the jobs that put food on the tables of middle class families. And when those jobs were sucked out of the American economy through the NAFTA agreement that Bill Clinton signed into law, that Congress passed and Bill Clinton signed into law, that weakened That free trade agreement, NAFTA, weakened the American middle class. Because if you don't have jobs, then the economy is not as strong. Because when you have millions of people out of work, how can the economy be strong? Now, Bill Clinton did help to produce jobs under his presidency. I'm going to give honors and credit where honors and credit are due. Bill Clinton did help produce jobs or help create jobs under his presidency. But the jobs that he created paid less than the jobs that he shipped overseas. I'll say it again. The millions of jobs that Bill Clinton helped to produce and create under his presidency paid lesser salaries, or they didn't pay as much money in salary as the jobs that were sent overseas via the NAFTA trade agreement. Now, this new trade agreement, the TPP, that President Obama has signed into law, that's going to suck even more jobs out of the American economy to overseas. And so, what little bit American middle class that was left, that's no longer in existence. So the American middle class is now basically going to be extinct like dinosaurs. It will no longer exist. You're going to have the very wealthy at the top and people who are poor at the bottom. So the people who are very poor at the bottom, they'll be working on jobs making $7 and $8 and $9, $10 an hour. They're going to be servants to the very elite and very wealthy at the top. But there will not be a middle class. There will no longer be an opportunity for those at the bottom to climb to the top. There will no longer be an opportunity in America to allow people at the bottom to climb to the top. Because the middle class doesn't exist. Basically. I mean, it's gone. No jobs, no middle class. So, Donald J. Trump's free trade speech that he delivered on June 30th, 2016 in New Hampshire focused on these type of destructive free trade deals. Because how can these deals be good for America when they're taking American jobs and shipping those jobs to countries overseas and creating more and higher unemployment within the United States of America? How can our country, the USA, how can we have a strong economy with fewer jobs? So Donald J. Trump's speech reminded America that the 2016 election, it has to be focused on the economy and jobs. Donald J. Trump says that he's going to renegotiate. He's going to renegotiate that TPP agreement, which he should. And he's going to bring a lot of our jobs back from China and other countries that have stolen our jobs. Those kind of free trade agreements don't benefit the United States of America. They benefit the countries overseas. So, Donald J. Trump's free trade agreement speech, it puts the focus once again on what's really important for our country, the USA. And that is family, safety, liberty, patriotism, a strong economy, jobs, and free enterprise. And rebuilding our military. No jobs, no military. So I'm grateful that Donald J. Trump delivered such a speech. Now, rumor has it that the GOP establishment is still trying to, prevent Donald J. Trump from being allowed to be nominated, as the party nominee for president at the RNC convention in Cleveland in July. That's what the rumor is, that the GOP establishment is still trying to block him from, becoming a party nominee. But I'm going to stay tuned, and I hope you will. And if you get an opportunity, please listen. Please watch and view Donald J. Trump's free trade speech in New Hampshire on YouTube. Donald J. Trump's free trade speech reminds America of what's important. Jobs and the economy. Stupid. And it is very stupid to send jobs overseas when the American economy is suffering. Thank you for tuning in to Laura with the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.